Hello my friends and welcome. I am 𝗔𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I hope that you're having a good day today and that this video finds you safe and happy wherever you are. I am here to discuss something that just happened in paranormal news yesterday. I read it online right before I went to bed last night and I got very little sleep. And this video is going to be on my own opinion. Please take it as that. That doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong either. It's just my opinion, and everyone is entitled to their opinions. I feel very moved to talk about the sudden passing of ufologist David Wilcock. Many of us know him from the early seasons of Ancient Aliens that aired over on the A&E cable network back in the day. I think it's on the History Channel now, I don't remember. And he also had programming on Gaia. And here on YouTube, his channel has over 500,000 subscribers. David Wilcock was an extremely intuitive, insightful individual. His whole focus was on UFO and alien disclosure. And over the years, with me watching his YouTube video, I've been following him for well over 20 years. Like I said, since his days on Ancient Aliens, when that first started, and I think that show's been on like 18, 20 years. You know, I was always really impressed with his depth of research, his integrity in the early days, and the way he approached the subject of UFOs and aliens in terms of a confluence between the idea that alien beings may be physical beings from other planets, but they could be something else. I'll have another video that goes into my own opinion of that topic coming up soon on my channel. So do subscribe so you can watch that video, because it's going to be a doozy. I've got a lot to say on that subject. Anyways, getting back to David Wilcock. The news broke last night. I am filming this April 22nd, or maybe it's the 23rd. Sorry for the school bus. David Wilcock was found near his home. He supposedly had a gun, and he turned it on himself in front of the police officers. And so far, that's all we know, and even that is not 100% definitive, although intuitively I know he's gone. So I truly believe he is no longer among the living. In recent years, in watching his YouTube video, I stopped watching in about, I think, late 2022. And the reason I stopped, you know, and I must preface this by saying I had a great deal of respect for David Wilcock and for his work. I own a few of his books. I've read them, and like I said, I never subscribed to Gaia, so I never saw his work on there, but you know, I would see him on Ancient Aliens, and of course I watched his YouTube channel on a regular basis until about late 2022. Birds were singing. I stopped watching because his energy really shifted at about that time. Now, I do know from things he told his subscribers on his YouTube channel, so I'm not, you know, sharing under the table here. His wife had left him. He had lost his home. He evidently lost a great deal of money, and evidently Gaia TV was after him and to sue him, or I don't know what, because I was no longer watching him after late 2022, so I don't know the specifics of that. But what I do know is that in late 2022, when his energy shifted, I could see behind him 3 darkish clouds. Now, at first, I thought it was an eye issue that I had developed. I had developed cataracts. And I thought maybe it was the cataracts, you know. And I was showing his videos. I was telling my daughter, you know, watch his videos. Let me know what you see. She's like, Mom, there's nothing there. I'm like, you can't see that. And she's like, no. And she's like, I think it is your cataracts, you know. And so I mentioned it to a couple of my online colleagues who are also psychic intuitives and spirit mediums. And I said, take a look at this guy. Tell me what you see. I didn't tell them anything of what I thought I could see. And they both got back to me with, I see literal darkness behind him. And I'm like, yeah. And the three of us started talking about it amongst ourselves. And we all came to the same conclusion. He had some sort of really dark energy that had glommed onto him. And I also noticed in recent years he had become a little, well, I wasn't really proud of his recent business practices either, but the main reason I pulled away was because of what I saw in a couple of his videos toward the end of 2022. And I just began praying for him, and I know he is a channel for Archangel Michael. I do know he's a true channel for Archangel Michael for most of what he channeled. It's very difficult to keep your ego out of the equation, your ego mind. And I know because I channel Archangel Michael also, and I've been channeling him since 1996. So in much of what David has written on the subject, I do recognize Michael's true voice in that. A good percentage of that is actually channeled information from Archangel Michael, but a fair amount is also from David's own ego mind interfering, and it's very difficult for a channel oftentimes to distinguish the difference. And so with the dark energy behind him and certain business practices of his that I was really could not ethically condone. I'm mainly talking about his ascension courses. I pulled back. I pulled back completely, and I stopped watching him. I stopped following him. I didn't buy any other books after, like, I think the last one I bought was in like early 2023 or so. The Awakening Dream, I think it's called. Anyway, yeah, and now he is gone. And what I find really disconcerting, I don't know if people were checking on him or not, because in what I've seen online today, people are saying, oh, you know, in the last video, he announced that, you know, it was a joy to be alive. He was really interested in living, and he was thankful to be here, and that he would never do what the authorities claimed that he did. And then 2 days later, he's gone because of what he said he would never do. Now, I haven't seen the last video. I'll probably be watching it over the next couple days just because it's too fresh, and I think it would just upset me too much, and especially if I see what I think I'm going to see from that time in late 2022. And if it was still there for his last video, I'm sure it was much more intense in that video than it had been in the early going when these things attached to him. So the reason I'm bringing this up too is because of all the recent passings that we've experienced in the realm of scientists who specialize in experimental propulsion systems, sorry, my brain's thinking way ahead, and other things connected to UFOs, anti-gravity technology, and so on and so forth. If you follow ufology at all, you would have heard of these scientists who've been leaving the world of the living under mysterious circumstances. One of them was hiking with friends in the woods, and she had fallen a bit behind, you know, and her friends turned around to check on her, and she's back there a little ways, still well within eyesight. She waves, they wave at her. Her friends continue walking on. The next time they turn around, their friend's gone. Like 2-3 minutes later, she's gone, never to be seen again. Okay? and this was on a hiking trail. There are a couple more scientists who walked out of their homes without their keys, without their phones, but took a GUN with them. Certain words on YouTube you can't say because the algorithm will flag you, you know, and that sort of thing. They've never come back either. One of these cases was very well covered by the media, and now people have been connecting the dots. I connected them pretty much after about victim number 5. These people who are disappearing, especially those who were found deceased due to a self-inflicted wound, my theory is that they had some sort of subliminal program inserted into their psyche. And if you've ever seen the movie, and I mean the old version one, of the Manchurian Candidate, where the government trains a person to do their work and to do it unknowingly, that's my theory. That's what I think is going on here. And if so, as of April 22nd, we're up to 11 scientists now who've either gone missing or left the living under mysterious circumstances. I think the number's going to get higher, my friends. I really do. And this has got to stop. And the thing is, everybody's saying, oh, you know, the main thing, it's a threat to our national security, and that's why the government is now investigating it. And the president has put together a special task force. They are now looking into this, doing a full-blown investigation. But if my theory is correct, then we know who's behind it. Because otherwise, other than their employers, who would have access to all these scientists in order to implant that subliminal impulse that could then be set off? So what I'm thinking may have happened is each of these individuals, well, not each of them, because some of them have gone missing, as in probably abducted, like that woman on the hiking trail. And by abducted, I mean by fellow humans. I don't mean aliens came down and beamed her up. I don't believe that happened at all. But I think that those who left the world of the living through self-inflicted injuries did so because they had a subliminal program put into their psyche somehow, some way, and there was maybe a word or a brief phrase, so that when they received a phone call, picked up the phone, the person on the other line says this word or this phrase, and boom, it kicks in that subliminal programming. They hang up, set their phone down, put their keys down, their wallet, whatever, and just walk out, and they're never seen again. I think that's what's happening with the majority of them. 2 have left the realm of the living violently. 1 was severely harmed in a drive-by in front of his home as he sat on his porch. Another one, his life was concluded prematurely by the person at Brown University that harmed a number of people. So those 2, you know, were done by another individual. So maybe they're not connected, but then maybe they still are. Because those 2 individuals, they worked in the same area of science that the other ones worked in. So I don't know. But that's just my theory, and I just wanted to get on here and share that with you all. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is going on with this? Or have you not heard of this? And if you haven't, check out, I'm going to have a couple of news article links below in the description. You can read those. There's also more and more people now talking about this on their YouTube channels. You can just plug in missing UFO scientists and you'll get a number of videos come up, I'm sure. You know, hopefully that information will help to clear things up for you. I am not equipped with all the information right now, so I can't just sit here and provide it to you, but it is out there easily and readily available, at least as of this date. But I'm just wondering if some of this stuff is also going to start disappearing off the internet. I don't know. So let me know what you think. I've already explained what I think, and hopefully very soon we'll get to the bottom of this, and hopefully no further individuals will come to any harm who are connected with ufology, UAPs, aliens, extraterrestrial, or the branches of the sciences and the military who work on alien tech or that sort of stuff. And now I'd like to conclude the video with a full minute of silence for those who have been taken from us too soon. So I hope you'll stay for that. I'll just be sitting here with my head bowed in prayer for about a minute. And until next video, I sincerely am wishing you all peace, happiness, safety, and a very blessed day ahead. Thank you for watching. I'm 𝗔𝗿𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗏, and I will catch you next time.